Good morning, everybody. This is Mrs. Wright. I'm Mr. Wright. Young couple in the game. We want to come sit down and have this round table discussion with the lovely, the amazing Mr. and Mrs. Craig. 20 years in the game. We want to get just a little bit of nuggets so we can get to that level. So sit back, enjoy it.
Well, what's up, man? How y'all doing?
What's going on? How y'all doing? Yeah.
Welcome. All right, so let's go ahead and just jump in. How y'all doing? Y'all good?
Yeah.
Doing good.
All right. So every story has a beginning. Tell us yours. How'd y'all meet?
Let's see. Go ahead.
I want to see what you So our story started at Building 720 in Fort Stewart, Georgia. I actually had just gotten to the unit. Mm-hmm. I was asking for cigarettes. I did not have cigarettes, didn't know where the store was. I had just gotten there. And I kept asking multiple people, like, hey, where can I bum a cigarette from? And everybody kept saying, go see Craig, go see Craig. I didn't know who Craig was, so I was just asked the next person. So eventually somebody finally led me to him. Mm-hmm. And I borrowed a cigarette, and that's how it started. He decided to come and smoke with me. Yeah. So we stood outside of Building 720. We were both in the Army at the time in the same unit, and we started just smoking and talking. That's how we started.
Marco, you shaking your head.
Right. Yeah. When I got there, she pulled up and we didn't know who it was. It was like in the Army. It's like a building is like your territory, basically. So me and my friend was out there. We was out there drinking, and she pulls up like, "Who is that?" Yeah. And we're like, and then some other guys came up. We're like, but everybody was looking crazy. I was there chilling. Yeah. So I went on back to my room, and then like a couple hours later. Matter of fact, no, I helped you take your stuff upstairs. Because you were struggling. Bro.
I didn't know you were Craig yet.
I know, but you were struggling taking that stuff upstairs. So me and the guy, actually, that's my best man. That was my best man in the way and helped her tuck her stuff up there. Then I went back to my room, had to watch wrestling. Wrestling was on the Monday Night Raw.
Yeah.
So we went back downstairs, and I'm trying to get my boots and uniform together, watch the wrestling. She knocked on the door, asked for a cigarette, and that's how it started.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's right, because you sure did help me with my stuff before I knew you were Craig.
Right.
You were flirting with me, too.
You talking about my memory.
You were trying to get with me.
That's why you said it.
When he was helping me get my bags in.
Chivalry wasn't dead, you know?
It wasn't. What I loved about him is he really, I'm joking that he was trying to get with me. He wasn't. He seemed very uninterested. And so I didn't even know he was the same guy until I borrowed the cigarette. Yeah. So once we started talking, we started realizing that we got, that we just got stuff in common. Yeah. And so we kind of kicked it off as friends. Yeah, we were friends. Both of us were country. Yeah. Both of us had similar backgrounds. So that kind of just brought us together.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. So during this time frame, like when you guys first met, how did you guys realize or come to the realization that you were the ones for each other?
We didn't.
What you mean, man?
He learned.
I'm just saying. Oh, what happened? Okay, that was a Monday. Then we got there. It was range week. So I asked her, okay, I put it out. I was a DJ at the club. So it was range week. We going to the range. We had to qualify. And we got on the bus to go to the range. And she was struggling with the weapon or something. I can't get all that stuff, man. I'm old. But we got back on the bus. We went and qualified, came back. I asked her to go on the date. I said, you want to go out this weekend? That's a funny story, too. So we goes out and get to Saturday. We go out.
Went to Beaumays.
We went to Beaumays, right?
Which was like a club that literally used to have a dirt floor, but I digress.
But not now, though. It wasn't like that then.
No, I said used to.
Yeah, you didn't. But anyway, if we get ready to go on a date, I'll get my car cleaned up, air conditioning away because it's July.
Yeah.
It was October, but it was still hot.
I mean October. Yeah, it was October.
Still hot.
October
It felt like
27th.
July.
October. We met October 22nd, 1999. That was my dad's birthday. So I remember that. But it was so hot. It was hot. And so we cracked the window, and buddy, it started raining.
I forgot all about this.
Yeah, it was raining. I'm hot. I'm bad over there. She act like she ain't care, but I know that rain was cold. So I couldn't let the windows up. I said, man. So I'm turning on the fan and stuff, we're making it hotter. It was funny.
I remember that, the Diamante.
Yeah, but back to how we figured we won. I just said we didn't. Because we didn't, it just happened.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? If somebody for you is for you, and you could tell, but you don't force the issue.
Yeah.
There's a lot of overbearing guys, and I just kicked it back. I ain't really say nothing.
Yeah.
And if it happened, it happened. It didn't, it didn't. And it just seemed we always was there.
Yeah.
We go to the range, we sitting by each other on the bus. We
And holding hands on the bus.
Oh.
That's when I knew.
Oh, we'll get to the range. I'm in lane 9, she in lane 8.
Yeah.
And it was just there all the time, in your face.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. And then I said, I'm gonna just give it a try.
Yeah.
Cause I had said I wasn't gonna date no more, cause that's another story.
I
Yeah.
feel you on that.
Yeah.
I can feel you on that.
What about for you, Tamika?
It was no particular moment that I can remember. I just think it just evolved over time, and like I said, we were friends first, so so that it just makes you more comfortable with the person than if you're just going right into it dating, and we really didn't do that.
Yeah.
We were friends first, so our love just kind of grew from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people talk about having their must-haves for a husband or for a wife. Did y'all have those before meeting each other?
Not really, because before I met him, I was just coming out of a breakup, and actually I ended up in Fort Stewart because I re-enlisted to go there to be with my boyfriend, who he was long distance from there, but that was the closest I could get to him. Well, before I got there, our relationship just didn't make it, but I still was on orders to go there. And before I got to Fort Stewart, my mom's pastor, I went to their church and she prophesied to me that I was about to meet my husband. And I was like, child, please. I really brushed it off because I wasn't looking for that. I was just looking to get to a new duty station, settle in and do what I needed to do. But once I met him and we started being cool, I was like, oh, maybe that prophecy was on point.
Yeah.
But I really wasn't looking for it, and I didn't have a list or any of that, because when we met, I was 21, so I was young. I wasn't really thinking about marriage yet, and it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 24. Wasn't I? 24?
You were 23.
Yeah, 23. And man, I was just tired.
Yeah.
I had left home at 17 and a half, 18. And I was just tired, man. In the street. I'm ready to settle down and have me some children. I want a wife. I'm tired.
Yeah.
So I just had left Korea. Went home. This relationship didn't work out. And like, what it was, the week I got there, like a month before her, and I called home. I said, Mom, I'm tired, man. I'm trying to find me a girl or something. I'm ready to get married.
Yeah.
Because I had asked somebody to marry me. They told me no. I said, Mom, I'm tired. I'm not dating no more until I find me somebody I'm ready to settle down with. So when she came, I wasn't even looking. That's why I was being a gentleman like my dad taught me.
Yeah.
Because, I look at stuff, man, ain't no men out there no more. Like full body men. It's men in gender, but not a full body man. You ain't got to treat a woman wrong. Be a man.
Yeah.
Just because you see a girl, you can help her take her groceries to her in the car, help her take her clothes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Open the door, walk on the other side of the street. And it's not like that no more. There's a lot of beta males out there to me.
Yeah.
You know, and masculinity is toxic. But me being a man, when my dad taught me, you help a woman, you do this, you do that. And I've seen the struggle, and I said, hey, Pete, come on, man, let's go help this girl take this stuff up. Wasn't thinking. I'm just doing what a man do.
I feel you.
You see what I'm saying? So, after that, she came down like, what that girl want? You know, I'm trying to watch it. I ain't thinking about that. I'm finna be me.
Yeah.
And after that, we continued to talk. Good, you country? Man, you country as me? Where you from? Florida ain't no country folks. Talk.
Yeah.
And that's how it started.
Yeah.
So that's just basically what it was. But that's how I really know, because you get comfortable with somebody.
And it's like you said, unforced.
Yeah, it ain't forced. Today, it seems like everybody trying, man.
Like the intentions are different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a phone in my room. I ain't hardly call a room.
Yeah.
I show up, knock on the door. Hey, let's go eat. Are you hungry?
So,
Something like that.
Yeah.
But so I ain't never just be calling on the phone, slobbing and talking down.
Slobbing.
Talking on the phone all night, man. It's just morals and way you treat yourself, and you gotta have respect for yourself. And if you have respect for yourself, you have respect for the person that you with.
It's true.
You know,
I agree.
people don't understand. Man can not have respect for themselves with the stuff they do, and if you got a foundation, you know that.
Yeah.
So that's how things should be.
Marco dropping gems over
Right.
there.
For real.
Yeah, a mess.
So here we are,
Yeah.
20 years later, right?
Yes, sir.
After marriage.
Yeah.
What is something or one thing above all else that you guys have made a concerted effort between the two of you to feel like, okay, like this is what we need to focus on so that we can continue to move forward? Or what's something that you feel like was the one thing that you had to work the hardest for in your marriage between the two of you?
I think the thing we had to work the hardest for in the beginning was people, like people's expectations of us. When we first met, even though we were going to the club and stuff, I would go to church on Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
He wasn't into that, but I had heard him pray before. I hear him talk about God. And the people in our church, a lot of them told us we were unequally yoked when we first started talking about marriage. And that got into my head, and I really at some points was thinking about calling off the wedding because I was growing. I got to the point where I was really growing in Christ. He either wasn't in church or he would come every now and then, and so these people had all these opinions about him, and so we had to get past people's opinion.
Haters.
Well, I can't say they were haters. They were trying to,
Look out for
they
you.
were really trying to look out for me.
Yeah.
But they kept telling us that we were unequally yoked. And I was like, the word says unequally yoked with unbelievers.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, even though he wasn't, spiritually mature yet, he loved God, and I knew that he believed in Christ. And so for me, we had to get past that hump to even get down the aisle. So it's just not worrying about people and following your own convictions, following what the Holy Spirit is telling you to do as it pertains to your own marriage.
Yeah.
Keep folks out the business, man. And
Yeah.
what camera we at? Okay. I don't care if it's family, friends, well, between you and your wife, keep it in your house.
Yeah.
You'll be perfect. Don't let nobody know you been and don't get frustrated. Say, bro, man, guess what happened? Nope,
Right.
that ain't got nothing to do with you.
Right.
What you and her got, keep it that way.
That's words to live by for real. When you share stuff with other people, and it's so tempting to run to people sometimes, but when you share stuff with other people, like if I tell my friend, oh, Mark and I got in an argument today, he kind of hit below the belt and he said this.
Yeah.
Well, 6 months later, my friend is still
There you go.
mad.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's still mad, or my mom or whoever,
Ain't
they're
got nothing to do
still
with
mad.
them.
the love is between us. So when we wake up the next morning, really we don't, we try not to go to bed, man.
Yeah.
But we get over it.
Yeah.
Other people are still holding on to that, and then when the two of you are around that person, it's this weird energy now
Yes.
because they're in your
holding on to
business,
it.
they're in your life. So we're really big about that, and that it's helped us to keep stuff in here.
Keep folks out your business, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
That-
Believe it. They definitely.
That-
Keep folks out your business. I don't care if anybody, because this is the biggest question for me.
Yeah.
This how you make it work. If you go and get counseling,
I was just about to ask you about that.
Mm-hmm.
and honestly, I got counseling one time with my wife, and that's all I needed. You go get counseling. That's when we did. What it was, the marriage
It was
counseling.
marriage counseling.
That's when we got
before
ready to
we
get
got
married. But after that, folks told me, we need to go to counseling. No, we don't. We got a counselor. You read the word, the Bible tell you how to handle your house and be a man and be in your house. It's up to y'all to accept your roles and your position.
But some people do need counseling.
I understand that. You just see what I'm talking about?
Got to put them.
But everybody got a lane. Everybody got a lane. But what I came back to counseling for, once you go to counseling with you and that counselor, you two and that counselor, nothing else leave that room. You three on the know.
Right.
Don't go and say, girl, we went to counseling. And Thomas said, no. We say, Thomas, you said there's that counseling. What's wrong? Now I see what the problem is.
Yeah.
We could fix this. Or you could just say, now I see what pushes his buttons. I'm not going to say it. Now I see what makes her mad. I'm not going to say it. Man, why would I say that? Now I see why she gets so upset. It's
Right.
deeper rooted in me.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you leave family and friends out of it. That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And you'll be together for another 60 years. I promise. That's the biggest thing. Discourse.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Now we
Yeah.
talked.
Go ahead.
You can go.
No. Go ahead.
We talked a little bit about family and friends, but let's focus a little bit on your family.
Yeah.
And talk about when you guys started talking about having kids and how many you wanted, and just about that journey.
I first started.
It seemed like that was on your mind from the jump. Like you was ready.
I told her I was going to have 5, 6 kids.
Yeah.
She said, I said 9 or 10.
9 or 10?
I said 9 or 10 at first.
Who was carrying 9 or 10?
I said 9 or 10. I said 9 or 10 at first.
surrogates, multiple surrogates.
But then she said, she started complaining. I said, okay, 4 or 5. She said, that ain't no better.
So you wanted a big family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I see why God has a plan for you.
Mm-hmm.
So he know what you can handle and what you can't. I'm a firm believer if I had 8 or 10 kids, man, or 5,
You'll be raising them alone because
probably, or I'll be running crazy. We'll be struggling.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But I did want 5 or 6 kids because I'm a country boy. That's what my grandma had.
Yeah.
But
you want to be out there shelling peas and plucking
Yeah.
chickens.
working the land, planting corn and stuff. You know what I'm talking
Ain't
about?
no grocery shopping with 10 kids. You gotta
Yeah.
have a farm.
Gotta
Right.
grow everything.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a cow, goat, and everything.
Yeah, I never had like this magic number of kids that I wanted,
Yeah.
but I knew I wanted kids,
Yeah.
and so we had some serious fertility issues. I did. I had serious fertility issues. Condition called PCOS. Causes you to carry a lot of weight, but it also causes you to have trouble with having kids. And so we did a lot of back and forth, driving to places, having surgeries, trying to figure out what's wrong. And in October of 2006, I started having some really bad pains in my stomach and in my abdomen area. And I went to the doctor, to the fertility specialist that I had been seeing. And he said, well, based on what I see, at this point, you have a 0% chance. Your tubes don't work. So, you have this PCOS condition, and because your tubes are not working properly, there's no way for an egg to push through your fallopian tubes. So if you ever become pregnant, consider it a medical emergency. It's not going to be a salvageable pregnancy. So this is October of 2006. At this point, we're severely depressed because that's all we wanted. We felt like if we could just have one child, at least, that it would just kind of complete our family. And so that dream was shattered at that point. I was suicidal. I actually had a plan to drive off of this like ravine area on the way to my job, planned out. And on the day that I was gonna do it, I got a phone call from a friend of mine, and all she said was, "Don't do it." Yeah. She has no idea what I'm about to do. And so at that point, I pulled over. She and I, we talked together, we cried together, we prayed together, and she decided to start fasting with me. Mm-hmm. And so we would fast. I lost so much weight. And so I went buy me some new pants in the new size I was. I thought it was cute now. And as soon as I bought those jeans and went home, I thought like, oh, my body is feeling kind of different. Let me go get a pregnancy test. Pregnancy test for us was so normal that we could have bought stock.
Yeah,
all of the pregnancy tests. It was never positive.
Go get a pregnancy test.
And so by this time we've been together 6.5. We've been married 6.5 years, and so we went. I went and got a pregnancy test, took it. It was positive. So I told him.
She danced, and I'm like, all right.
I was so happy, but he was like, I don't believe. There's no way. Yeah. So I went and got another one, and that day I took 3. They were all positive. So then the doubt set in, thinking about what the doctor said about my tubes and how just pregnancy itself is to be treated as a medical emergency.
Mind you, we had false positive before. Yeah. That's why I was like that. Yeah. Okay. Because I got amped up before. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. King Kong, I'm good. After that, after the first 2 times, I'm like, man, yeah, whatever, man. I'm not. Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Well, I know for me, I started to think about what the doctor said. Mm-hmm. And so sure enough, I was still having the same pain that I had been having in October. And they described to you, it's going to be a pain that's kind of in your side. And that's what I was feeling. Yeah. So we were afraid, but we went on to the doctor. They did an ultrasound. And, we had told the nurses and everything while we were there. And the nurse did the ultrasound. She started crying. And she said, you see that? That is your uterus. And that little grain of rice size, whatever on the screen, that's your baby. She said, you are pregnant and the baby is in the right place. And so that's when it finally hit him. And so for us, that was a huge hurdle that we had to overcome. I don't even know. I'm pretty sure we would have found a way with the strength of the Lord to still be married to this day, but we never know because we were so depressed at that time because we couldn't have children. So, so we had Mimi. And she's a great, great kid. About 18 months later. Oh, what?
It wasn't that.
Oh, yeah, my infertility doctor, he still doesn't know. This is the guy who told me in October 0%
At this point
chance.
Or during today?
He told me in October of 2006 0% chance.
Yeah.
I found out for sure that Mimi was in the right place at the ER because that's what he told me to do. Yeah. If I get a positive pregnancy test, go to the ER. Okay. So They also said if you ever become pregnant, make sure you come and see the infertility specialist immediately.
Yeah.
So I think this was over the weekend. So Monday morning, probably, we were on our way to Portsmouth, Virginia to go and see the infertility specialist. And so he had to do an ultrasound. And he put that transducer on my abdomen, and this is what he did. Like he literally scratched his
He
head
looked at me and
because
said,
he had no idea how it could possibly happen.
the man looked at me and said, "How that happen?"
Yeah, he was asking us.
That just looked at me and hey, how that happen? You look at me for you to die.
And the thing is we found out, 18 months after Mimi was born, I got pregnant again.
Oh yeah.
And started having that pain. Went to the doctor, ectopic pregnancy, internal bleeding, go in surgery right now. So that pregnancy had to be removed along with the tube. Now I got one tube left. Maybe about another 18 months, or 2 years, we were pregnant again.
Yeah.
Other tube. There was a baby there, possibly twins.
Yeah.
And now both of my tubes are gone. And that's when I realized how much of a miracle Mimi was, because those 2 ectopic pregnancies said to me that the doctor's facts were accurate.
Yeah.
That my tubes really did not work. And so I know that, our daughter is she's just a miracle, period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God did that.
Yeah.
And so I always think that that was a gift to us to help us repair our marriage, because there's no telling where that depression would have taken us.
Yeah.
And it wasn't depression over anything else. We've never really had money problems. Not really. But we... Oh, please. But we've never really had, we've never struggled.
No.
We've never struggled financially. But that was the one thing, is that we just really wanted, a child. So to get past that, it kind of boosted life back into our marriage. And that was around year 6, year 7.
I was kind of straight. After a while, after I just, you just cope with it and say, okay, this is what it is. I guess I'm going to hell now.
Yeah.
So, but I could
So
tell
it was me that was depressed.
I was down.
Because I was depressed.
Can I talk? But then after a while, she would do some stuff like lash out for no reason. Try to make me mad.
Yeah.
But that goes back to the thing, what I was telling you, my mom and dad been together since 77. So I could tell, me being the man around a man, she'd be all right. She come in there and want to argue for nothing. Throw a pillow, just want to say something. All right now. She'll go back in there. It wasn't that she mad at me. She was trying to make me lash out to get upset. But I'm not finna leave my wife over this mess. If God wants to have kids, he gonna have some.
Yeah.
But she didn't see it that way at the beginning. And see, this here the thing I'm gonna go back around to. Back to the top. The haters unequally yoked. The deep people that were telling us, talking about he ain't the one. What other man could have withstood something like that?
Yeah.
Would have been able to pray for her like that. Even though I was DJing back then, not when she got pregnant. But back then when we first done, I still had a foundational root.
Yeah.
I was rooted that I know where my help come from. Mm-hmm. What other man would have been able to do that? She would have ran somebody off.
Not ran them off.
Cause I'm telling you, bro,
Yeah.
it had got rough.
Yeah.
It had got rough. And I would just come in the house. I was going to the gym a lot then. I go work out. I get 30 minutes. By that time, I was doing about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Just up in there, just in the sauna, throwing iron on the machine. Just
You're trying to get away from me.
no, I was going trying to do frustration.
Yeah.
He'll tell you,
Yeah.
frustration. You get in the gym, man, you'll zone out.
Yeah.
But then once you get back home, you're so tired. And you work out, you eat something. If a bomb ain't going off, you're going to take your shower and lay down. That's what God got me into working out then. I couldn't argue with you. I wasn't going to argue with you. So but you upset. Then I found my love for cooking during that time.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Look,
Praise be to God.
so I found a couple of gifts during that time.
Yeah.
Baking and cooking. Now, she learns, I didn't know you know how to do this. So, relationship getting back tight.
Yeah.
I'm making carrot cake. Man, I don't know how to make no carrot cake. Dude, I'm making it because she got a taste for it. I'm making carrot cake.
Yeah.
So I'm doing stuff like that. And then every time I learn something different. And then after we seeing me praying for that, when they come back around to my job, she can pray for me when I'm going through something.
Yeah.
Now we're getting closer.
Yeah.
That's how it worked. That's how it worked out.
I really feel like that's really gonna bless someone. I've been seeing an increase in infertility,
Right.
especially in our nation.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel really led right now to pray for people
Right.
that are suffering with that right now. So do y'all mind if we
Oh,
just pray?
absolutely.
Okay. So Lord, we thank you for this day and this time. We thank you for Mimi and for the miracle that she is, Lord. And so, Lord, we speak to the people that are struggling with infertility right now, Father, and we speak to their wombs, Father, and we pray that you open their wombs to be able to receive the child that you have for them. And Lord, we pray against those things that are trying to come against the will that you have for them in their life. We pray that you give them peace that surpasses all understanding in this time, Lord. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Much needed. Much needed.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
Much needed.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to pass it, I think, because I knew
Yeah,
the
you
Holy
got it.
Spirit was telling me.
Yes,
so.
ma'am.
You gotta hit it when it's on you. They
Yes.
gotta play with it.
So
Uh-huh.
the next question, right?
Go ahead, man.
So obviously that was a large or very stressful time that you
Yeah.
guys had to learn how to adapt
That's
with
right.
each other, right? Which
That's right.
I'm like, I think that's the biggest thing in marriage, right?
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
what can you guys speak to as far as being and having the strength to adapt to the changes in each other to help your marriage continue to flourish, right?
Okay. Being able to understand a person, because when you meet a person, and when we met each other in 720, you're not gonna be that same person
That's the truth.
20 years.
Yeah.
I went through some ups and downs in the military. When the war popped off, I did over 75 funerals, giving flags to people,
Yeah.
and PTSD and waking up at night and all that stuff, man. She did not waver.
Yeah.
She just prayed. And it stayed. I wanted to give up. I'm like, man, I'm tired of seeing death. God, why you got me around this death all the time?
Yeah.
But it gave me strength for other people. And then I would see people that I gave the flag to. They got strength. They said, the way you stood up there helped me. But they didn't know I went home and broke down.
Yeah.
So now, when somebody come to me with a bigger problem, from with her, even if she got some issues, I know how to talk to them. And they were like, man, you ain't got no feelings. No, it ain't that I don't have feelings, man. It's that I just come straight to you, straight up and down. You're gonna do it or you don't. You're gonna go left, you're gonna go right.
Yeah.
You're gonna have faith or you don't. That's just the way I am. It's two things, there's a heaven and a hell. Belief or non-belief. That's where I look at it.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna push through this thing, you're gonna have to adapt to your obstacles. Nobody gonna stay the same. Everybody, my arms should be way bigger than this. I ain't have no stomach. But as the time goes by, you go stronger together.
Yeah.
It's like growing up with your siblings. Y'all growing up as kids, but once you get with your wife, God blesses you, or get with your spouse, God blesses you. And you grow with them
Yeah.
on to old age.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So you got to argue with your sisters and brothers growing up. I'm sure you did. Like, I don't get married. But once you get married, everything be cool, but wouldn't let nobody mess with them with you.
No.
It's just the same thing with your wife. As you grow older, you're going to get on your nerves. Or you'll hold them. But you're going to have to understand and adapt to what's going on in life. And find out what's the problem. You know, Because you may be going through something, man, I don't like the way I look, man, or something. Believe it or not, it goes through that.
Yeah.
But that goes back to the thing again. You and I men, you being a man, dude, it's not many full-body men. I always say that. She look at me crazy when I say
I
that.
do.
She look at me, but I guarantee you if I say full-body man, and them guys that watches this thing, they know what a full-body man is. It ain't about no just being no man and just what you can do. It's about being a man all the way around in life.
Yeah.
You know, women tell you, oh, he doing all that yelling and all that stuff, but believe it or not, they like a man. They ain't gonna go to no doggone little boy to go tell them if they got an issue somewhere.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna call no doggone, they don't wanna call a tow truck to come and change their tire. They don't wanna call, the car break down, they wish they man could fix it. That's what we're here for. We are here to be backbones and family raisers. That's what we're here for. Be a man, don't be scared. And your wife may get mad at what you say sometimes, but she don't want you to whimper away like a little puppy. She wants you to be a man. If you don't, they'll run over you. You're not put here to be ran over. You're supposed to be a backbone for your wife, your helpmeet. You get me?
Yes, sir.
That's where you gotta be. And you ain't gonna let nobody mess with her.
Not at all.
Wife, children, you get your child, it's gonna be the same way. And she gonna feel confident in coming to you and talk to you about anything. That's the sanctuary you gotta have. When you get home, that's your sanctuary, you and your wife talk. Some days you ain't gonna want to talk about that. You don't gonna feel like it. She'll come in talking about stuff, I'm like, all right, okay. I'll go in there, lay down, she'll come and sit down every night. I'll be in my office, she'll come and sit in the chair, we'll talk. Maybe about nothing, but it's getting something off your chest.
Yeah.
You know, it may be something small, maybe something big, or maybe just want to sit up there and just spend time with each other.
Yeah.
But you got to know how to turn it on and turn it off with your man too. Can't be all high strong all the time.
Yeah.
That's just like a runaway engine. If you keep blowing all the time, you got your foot on the gas, it's gonna blow up, right?
That's true.
Oh, yes.
All right.
For me, the advice that I always give to other couples that are kind of just starting out is to always be open for change. Change is going to happen.
Yeah.
And so whenever we got married, you know, I was 23, he was 25. We were young. What we wanted in life was totally different. And like if I think back now, I can't even remember what we wanted out of life when we were 23 and 25, other than a kid.
Yeah.
But that changes. And so, you know, both of us have kind of evolved into different, we're the same people, but we're totally different. And so some of the things that I loved about him when I first met him, it was young stuff.
Mhm.
Like he would be the person, everybody had to have their hats on. You know, the military is very, very strict about your clothes. This joker right here would have his hat to the side. And it's like everybody was scared of him and nobody would say anything to him. And so that was one of the things that I really liked about him when we were young, because it was kind of thug like to me.
In the military.
Well, now, you know, now I'm 43 years old, I'm no thug. And he's not that person.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things that drew me to him in the beginning. So you got to be drawn by the heart and not by the current state of that person. Because if you're only drawn by the current state of that person, then 100 pounds ago, we would have been divorced, child.
Not 100
When I met him, literally it was 100 pounds. When I met him, I was like 150. I was like 150 pounds. So it ain't quite 100 pounds, but it's close. So I have literally, this chair. But I have literally, you know, I've gained weight. I've gotten slower, you know, moving around the house, complaining about my back and stuff. Because as you grow older, things are going to change. Not just the physical things, but the way you think is going to change.
Mhm.
He and I, politically, we cannot have a conversation. Like if we start a political conversation right now, like it will be grounds for divorce almost. So, but we, it's just that we've changed and certain things about us
Y'all
have
those boundaries, too.
have done this, but we have boundaries. But I don't expect him to think like me. He doesn't expect me to think like him. But if we start talking about certain things, all those differences will come out.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it really just, none of that stuff matters. What drew us together was our hearts.
Yeah.
And so I know his heart and he knows mine. So regardless of what differences we have, we know each other's hearts.
Yeah.
And so that's still what draws us, together.
So then my next question to kind of follow up on that, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
guys
yeah.
talking about boundaries, and you was also earlier talking about like roles. So
Yeah,
how
yeah,
you
yeah.
guys kind of like define the boundaries and the roles in your relationship, in your marriage to make things be as smooth as possible. You know what I mean?
Okay, the role that I have. Okay, this was the plan. This what the plan was after she decided to get out, right? The war was at full blast. When you got an 01?
I got 02.
02. The war was at full blast. I told her, I said, okay, babe, you get out. First, we had so many different plans. I was supposed to be sent to school to be a beautician. Lord have mercy. Thank God I ain't waste that money. But, no. I ain't said it wasting a beautician. You'd have been an outstanding beautician. I'm talking about the building, the overhead, and you standing up all day. Wasn't gonna work.
Yeah,
See, I know
sure.
what.
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah.
She just snapped just like that. They know it. Know what I'm talking about. So, boundaries. The way I see it, like, it's internal, you know. You can go so far. She knows certain stuff I ain't gonna talk about. There's certain stuff not to bring about. And there's certain stuff that, how you look at things, like I say, man, it's just being a man. You get what I'm saying? God forbid, if her and her get to arguing, right? I'm not finna get in no woman talking, man. Don't come to me talking to me about what you and such arguing about. I'm watching this game, man. and her husband better not call me to my wife. Look at bro, that between women. What they got? Alabama playing.
Alabama rerun.
Yeah, but I'm not finna sit up there and it's boundaries that you set like that.
Yeah.
Women's stuff is women's stuff and male stuff is male stuff. You don't get into stuff. Now, if it a man messing with them, that's when a man, just like with kids. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it comes to your child, man or woman messing with them. But when it's two women, and if you got a woman messing with your child and you got this is the way I look at it too. A man can't raise a girl to be a woman. And a woman can't raise a boy to become a man. It got to have some kind of, it got to have something in there. That's where the boundaries come in as being a man, husband and a wife. It's just that simple. She can't tell me how to be no man. Don't tell me what, okay, you may get mad I left my shoes in there. Okay, you get on my nerves, you leaving this trash out here, but you can't tell me what to think, and how to be a man. And I can't tell you what to think, and how to be a woman. If you got an issue at work, you can talk to me about your job. But if two women are having an issue, or so her and a sorority bumping, man, I do not want to hear nothing about that, bro. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Call one of them. But don't call me. Now, if you got somebody trying to get over on you or doing something to you, and if you got a job that we at the same place, I don't think we could work at the same place.
We've worked at the same place before. That's how we
I was on the street at the motor pool. I'm to my same building, same office, same place. Couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it either.
No law.
Thank God for Jesus.
Man, see, I'm talking about boundaries.
Boundaries.
You see, fell right in line. But just like gotta have somebody to get. she having a stressful day at work, it's time to talk. Get it?
Yeah.
But not no cat arguing or something you mad about. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And she wouldn't bring that to me. She'll know not to, because she was like, I know I ain't gonna, she'll come in and she was like, I was gonna say something. You know what? Don't worry about it. Because she knows.
Trying to get on the bed.
Yeah. I know. Don't worry about it. I like, all right then. I ain't like the person that be like, what's wrong? All right then. Okay. What was something the other night, and he was like, you know how to shut me up, don't it? When I was like, you said something, I was like, oh, okay then.
I can't remember what it was.
But I was like, oh, okay. She was like, man, that joker didn't even keep, he just said okay and it's over with. That's how you kill it.
But don't forget, I know how to shut you up too.
See what I'm saying? See? Gotta slang something. But yeah, you know your boundaries, man. It's internal.
Yeah.
It's like a clock.
Yeah.
Especially after you be around somebody. And you ain't got to be around them no more than a year. And after the first year, you ain't gonna know all the boundaries because you ain't gonna know everything about them.
Mm-hmm.
So the more you learn,
Yeah.
the more boundaries you know.
Yeah, we're still learning each other.
Yeah.
We're still learning.
And that's everyday, you gonna learn
Mhm.
every day. It's just, my mind and my thoughts about stuff, because the way this society is, I don't accept a lot of stuff. And I don't give excuses for a lot of stuff. I think there's a lot of excuses out there. She don't see it as the way I see it. But we can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because I see some people, I'll be like, that's wrong. Like, I come up with a
I
conversation,
say it ain't your business.
but I tell you, I have a, see what I'm saying? I look at the Bible, where I was brought up.
Yeah.
You don't see too many people telling you right now, you wrong. There's a heaven and there's a hell. It is, and you can go. You got people, motivational speakers now. And that's what getting these kids outside track. She don't agree with me that way. Because I'm old school, man. I'm a man, bro. I look, if it's wrong, it's wrong. If it's right, okay. Ain't no middle. And that's the way she look at me, she like, you just so old. I said, no, I'm not. She said, you just so old. I said, no, I'm just being the way I was raised. And am I lying? And then when I do that, I said, am I lying? She was like, well, no.
I don't mean that. You supposed to say it.
And then she said, but since you met me, what the first thing you always told me? You'll let anything come, you'll let it come out your mouth.
See, that's one of those things too that I thought was real attractive back then.
Because I didn't take nothing from nobody.
Yeah.
So if I could do that in the street, feel me now, understand it. If I could do that in the street and let anything come out of my mouth and let folks know how I feel and let folks know don't mess with me and this, that, and the third, or we gonna box. We gonna get the hook. If I could do that in the street, hold on. If I could do that in the street, hold on. If I could do that in the street, why not be able to do that as a Christian? That's wrong. While it was cute when I was out there in the street, but now when I'm a man and I'm a Christian and standing for God, that's wrong. Why I can't be bold? Like, be bold.
Yeah.
Be bold for God. And that, she may not like the way I talk, but that is attractive to her too, that I ain't scared of nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't stand on nobody's shoulder. And I'm unapologetic about the God that I serve. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason I got her. That is what got her. She can admit it if she want to, but she'll let you know that joker ain't scared of nothing. I'm scared of snakes.
I don't fool around with him either, man.
No.
I'm scared of snakes.
But that's it.
I don't fool around with him.
But that is the thing. So if everybody else could do it.
You gonna have some editing to do. You hear me?
But we having a talk. And believe me, if I wasn't doing this, now he know he can come and talk to me about certain stuff. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You like, what you think about this, man? Look.
It's wrong.
But That's it. That's all of it.
That's the bottom line. Because
That's it.
Marco Craig said so.
No, it ain't that I said so. Open up this book.
Your
Over
shirt
here,
this
Matt.
is wrong.
Yeah. And this book right here. This is this.
It's
this,
wrong. You wrong.
But he gonna
you.
show you where it's wrong.
Yeah. I'm gonna show you.
Yeah.
And if I don't know off my head, bro, they got these little things here, these little plugs. You can find it
Yeah.
and go show you where it's wrong at. That's all I'm saying. And that's why I don't worry about boundaries and none of that stuff, bro.
Let's talk a little bit about the military. First of all, thank you guys for your service and your
Oh, yeah.
sacrifice.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
So in being in the military and being stationed in different places, talk about moving and how that might have affected you guys in your marriage.
Now, for him, probably once he moves, he just goes to a different unit. I'm not saying it's not a big change, but I think for the women, for the spouses, it's a lot harder. Every time we move, I have to quit my job. And I work for the government, so in order to keep my tenure, I have to find another government job. And so they have programs now that'll help the spouses, but early on in our marriage, we didn't have that. And so each time we move, I have to quit my job, which makes our finances tighter. And sometimes it takes a long time. When we first got here to Fort Benning, it took me almost a year to find a job, to find another
And
government
I was
job.
deployed.
Yeah, and he was deployed.
Yeah.
So it was tough. Just having to keep changing your life. Now living in different places, that I love.
Yeah.
But the having to quit the job and starting over, every place you go, it's a struggle. It's a pain in the tuchus.
I didn't like moving. I wanted to stay.
Yeah.
Once I found a place I liked it, I wanted to stay. And that's another thing. I think that God didn't allow us to have kids till we was late, and I was towards the end of my career. Because I wouldn't be able to leave my baby like that.
Yeah, I do believe that.
Yeah.
It was timed perfect.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
So she didn't have to do all the PCS and making new friends and stuff like that until she did that when she was younger. But by the time she got school age, we've been here.
Well, we
the whole
left
time.
Colorado. We left Alaska, Colorado, and came here. So she was between the ages of 1 to 5. And she really didn't do nothing. But when she got to school age,
Yeah, she
like
went to
grade
school from here.
yeah.
So she's never had to move again. And that does a lot, mentally to kids when they have to keep moving. So fortunately, we didn't have that problem.
The only place I really hate I left was Alaska.
I was gonna ask what was your favorite place.
Oh my
Alaska.
God.
Definitely.
People look at, talk about Alaska on TV, they think you live in the igloos.
Yeah, people ask us
Ask
that.
them, you don't stay in the igloos or ice house? No, man, it's a place. But that was the best place we ever stayed, and that hurt me when we left. But the other places, I really didn't care. It was, Hinesville, I bought my first house.
Yeah, Fort Stewart.
I bought my first home, and I just thought that was such an accomplishment, and I ain't want to leave. And they said, once you get to Fort Stewart, you'll never leave. So I went to Korea, and them jokers did not let me go, and I just had bought my house, man. I was
he was
hurt.
supposed to go to Korea and come back
Come
home.
right back. I was so hot, man.
They surprised him.
Oh my goodness. I went outside of my truck and cried, man. I said, man, I bought my house. Then but I had to learn more.
Yeah.
God moved me and pulled me and stretched me, because if I had to stay
Yeah,
at
you don't
Fort-
have that control.
Yeah.
Like where you gonna live
Yeah.
and how long you gonna be there. You have no control over that.
And I figured that part of adapting to just that part of life too
Yeah,
just
yeah.
crosses over into
It
the
does.
rest of
It
life.
does.
That does. Because you got to have somebody, man. If you wasn't married with nobody on the same level as you, you'll lose it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people divorce over stuff like that. So
Yeah.
and if I hadn't left Hinesville, I must say, I wouldn't be as strong in God if I had, because I wouldn't have met one of my spiritual fathers, Pastor Leonard,
In Alaska.
in Alaska. I wouldn't have never met him. He brought me a lot of stuff. Pastor Buddy in Colorado, talked to him. we were close. But my biggest thing, I wouldn't have never went to Alaska and met Pastor Leonard to get me on the right path. Because he set me up for success.
He did. That's our spiritual father in Alaska. So, yeah, the military has definitely allowed us to form some really good relationships that we still have now. So,
Spiritually,
it's been a blessing.
it was a blessing, but physically, I just did not like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but spiritually, I needed it.
Yeah.
That was a mountaintop I had to climb through that way. And that's the way God got me out. Where we stayed 2 years at the most. Like every 2 years we were moving.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Oh man. And folks that stand in there 8, 10 years, just stand in one spot and I'm hot. Why we can't stay in one spot?
Yeah.
But God had something different for us.
That's true.
So that's the difference with the military movement.
Yeah. So to piggyback up, because we kind of started getting towards like church and everything, which is kind of one of our other avenues we wanted to ask you guys, right? So you kind of earlier in the conversation said you was going to church Sundays and you was really basically how it is now, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you
yeah.
said that you were DJing and stuff.
Yeah.
So just kind of explain it, because when y'all said that, it kind of took me back, right, to when I first met her.
Yeah.
Right,
Oh.
because she was singing in the choir, she was at church. Of course, we was in 2 different cities,
Right.
and I kind of fell out of church because of the hypocrisy. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So just if you guys could kind of elaborate on that.
Oh, man. I had the mindset, wasn't nobody gonna change me.
Mhm.
You get what I'm saying? I could treat you like a woman, I could treat you nice, I could be this, I could be that, I could be your backbone. But if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. This me.
Yeah.
I ain't doing nothing wrong in my
He
mind.
didn't like me. He didn't like me paying my tithe.
Dude, I was hot.
It was like you giving the church all your money, which 10% is not all your money.
No, but see,
He
she
said, I
said
give
we
the church
wasn't
all my
like
money and
financially
then want
struggling.
his.
We weren't financially struggling, but we was tight sometimes. Tight.
Yeah.
It was tight now.
Dude, we stayed in the trailer about from that wall back there to here. That was it.
Probably 600 square feet.
If that. We stayed in the trailer. I felt like we were staying in an apartment in New York with you could change the TV with your toes. Out the bed. Bruh.
We could almost reach our TV.
With our toes, I'm trying to tell you. But
He did.
it was tight. Now I'm telling you. And then I see her putting my tithe. Well, when I was growing up, I heard a tithe and offering, but it'd be like $20,
Yeah.
$40 or something like that there. But see, my thing was, if I go there, I'm having a good week. I go to church, tithe and offerings, okay. Tithe off I get some money, but if I'm having a good week, I put $50 in the church.
Yeah.
I put $60 in the church. I do that. I'm having a good week. I didn't get the concept. I ain't care. But I'm giving back to my community. That's my thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, I'm up there. We got some ramen. I want a pizza. I want a 6-pack.
Yeah.
And she finna
But
get my...
it wasn't just about the money though.
Hold on, let me
It
finish
was
my
about the
pizza.
time too.
See?
It was about time to I was in the choir and on the worship team. And so we had we had 8:00 service on Sunday, Sunday school, regular church service, sometimes evening service. We had Wednesday and Friday night.
And
joy
I wasn't
night.
going.
So we stayed in church. He didn't like it.
I wasn't going.
He didn't like the
And they
fact
get my money.
he didn't like the fact that I like I said, when we met, we were club people. Like
Yeah.
I might come outside in a skirt that's this long and a tube top. Like I was that chick. And so once I started going to church, I saw the missionaries, and the missionaries had on these hats with the sparkles and the matching shoes and matching purse. I started doing that because I didn't know like how to be a church girl.
I ain't mind putting
It
clothes
draw
on.
him. He said I look.
I ain't mind
He
putting
said I
clothes
was
on.
dressing like a Mormon. So he really didn't like that. So I really was, in the beginning, I was kind of turning him off from church because I didn't know any better and I was just copying what my surroundings were. And my spiritual mother,
And plus
Frances
they-
Harris, she was from
Yeah.
that church, and she
She
was telling me, she said, "You young, you can't be looking like these ladies that's 50 and you 20 something."
She said,
So I learned.
You got a husband.
Yeah, you got a husband at home. And she was like, "You're really not selling him the gospel because you're making the gospel look so old fashioned and unattractive to him."
Mm-hmm.
And so that's when I kind of started changing the way I dress and finding out that I could be fashionable and still represent Christ at the same time, because I wanted him to be attracted to the gospel, even though he already knew the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So once he did get involved in church, once we got to Alaska, he became our pastor's armor bearer, our spiritual father. He became his armor bearer. And so by being around him all the time, being around the word all the time, he started to really, really grow and to be as on fire for the Lord as I was. But it was that I think it was that attraction to things that were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our pastor in Alaska, he was cool.
Yeah.
You know. So I think that really drew him in a way that I couldn't draw him as a wife. I think I did what I could. And then once he got kind of pulled in, it was no stopping him.
Yeah.
He is the first person at the church, last one to leave. Like, he really, really got involved in the church. And I think because both of us at that point we were both involved in church, our love for church kind of pulled us closer together.
Yeah.
Because we got to be together more too.
That's true.
If I'm at work at church and he's at home, then that's valuable time that we're missing.
Mm-hmm.
So by both of us being involved in church, it actually brought us closer together.
Yeah, I just started doing stuff different. Like, actually, it was in Virginia I started doing the sound.
That is true. You did.
Pastor Dudley and them bought a soundboard. And she told them, I think she set me up. She told them, well, they needed a sound guy. And she said, I wasn't DJing in Virginia.
But you used to do sound for us on deployment to
Yeah.
Bosnia.
And she went and told. And said, well, my husband do sound.
That sound like me.
I sure did tell you. We
Volunteer,
needed
what you do.
we
And they
needed a
needed
sound
guy.
person.
And that's how she drew me in. You're not going to get me to do something that I'm not going to do it right. I ain't going to do nothing.
Yeah.
So I started coming in a little early. And I started trying to record the CDs and doing stuff early and setting
Slinging that word after church.
system in place and getting the stuff together and organizing things.
Yeah.
And they liked it. And I was like,
And I liked it.
see. And then we just started working. I was like, man, it's all right. Then couldn't stand loud music and DJing no more. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
And the music coming out wasn't my thing no more.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be no DJ. And then I started doing sound and start getting a love for that. Then once I got to Alaska, from Virginia, I went to Alaska. And we delved head first into it. And I was doing sound and recording the sermons and labels and
He
this, that.
literally started doing sound his first Sunday there.
Yeah.
I
Wasting
forgot
time.
how
The
anybody
sound
knew.
guy. The sound guy. You went before I did, because you used to go scout. You used to go scout churches. Cause then you went up there, cause I kept, Brian, the guy, it wasn't the first Sunday, it was the second Sunday. Cause I met Brian. And Brian said, next week I'm not gonna be here. And I'm like, you ain't gonna be here. He said, you do sound? Cause I told him I did sound. He said, you wanna do it next week? I said, man, I don't know these people. And then, so I said, I didn't want to say no, but I said, yeah, I do it. And I did not know the board. I ain't know nothing.
Yeah.
Man, the next Sunday come, co-pastor, how you doing? She said, you gonna do the sound, right? I said, yes, ma'am. And I went back there, man. I said, Lord, I don't know how to do this. Please help me. Man, I recorded that stuff and did all of it in one Sunday.
Yeah.
And that was the second Sunday I was there. And after that, we was straight. I think like a month later, we moved to another
They
building.
kept him involved.
And we was gone. We was gone. And I ain't had time to complain.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then Pastor got on. We were like, man, let's go shoot some basketball. Let's go to the hockey game.
Yeah.
I said, oh man, it's cool.
Yeah.
I ain't got a drink. And these jokers ain't got a drink to have. Oh, they got to do this. And then they got people that like me that don't do all the other stuff. I said, yeah, that's straight.
Yeah.
So I went on and did that. And after that, man, once I got hooked with Pastor Leonard,
Yeah, Pastor really took
it was on another level. Then that's why I said, and then that's why I said, I ain't have to do sound no more after that. I understood.
Yeah.
But I got into the sound thing, the DJ sound thing came into part for to get me, put my goggles on and I went diving and I figured out how to swim.
Yeah.
Now I understand it. Now I can sit back and do other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't just got to do sound, but that's what attracted me. But that thing had me fun. It was funny. I ain't want to pay no tithe, bro. I wasn't paying no tithe. So if I'm putting $60, $50, look now, it's the money.
But see, because you tired,
Oh God.
the Lord has
But if I put
blessed you.
$50 or $60 in there on Sunday, I'm like, what you need my bread for? I'll put $40 in here, you know. I said, well, I wasn't thinking, didn't know the concept. I said, if I give you $40, that's $400. That's 10% of it. You know?
He has always been
But I've
pinching
been
them
frugal my
pennies.
whole life, man.
Yeah.
Her aunt, we really got really close. Her aunt passed when she got to Fort Stewart.
Yeah, right after we met.
And she could not, she ain't had no money or no nothing to get there. I gave her like, what, $200-300?
I think it was like $200, $230.
Yep, I said, here, go and take this and go home. Go to your family. Didn't ask for it back, didn't even think about it. Didn't I said, you good when she got back, I think. And after that, I just went on by my business. I said, man, you ain't got to
Then every time I wanted some money, I just go and ask him because I knew he had it.
Because everybody would tell him I used to save. I didn't spend no money.
Yeah.
He didn't.
I ain't spend no money, man. Because I had got all my clothes the year before from Korea.
Yeah.
So I dressed nice, I had a car, and I had to spend no money.
Yeah.
So everybody, hey, other people I used to borrow money, I make them pay it back. She ain't used to pay me back. She'd get over.
More than just a friend.
No. But that's how it was though. She was close to her aunt. She couldn't get home. I had no gas. So I just gave her that money and told her to go home. And after that, it was rolling. Yeah. But that's why I say, I'm getting blessed. I'm taking care of you. What I got to pay these tithes and stuff for?
Oh, Lord.
So let's rewind.
Yes,
20
ma'am.
years ago.
20
Y'all
years
got
ago.
married.
Yep.
What is probably the most memorable part of your wedding day for you guys?
I'm going to see what he going to say. The most memorable part of our wedding day was my aunt making a comment. I'll give him a year.
I'll give him a year.
That was the highlight of my wedding day because I was determined.
20 years later.
I don't care if I make it 2 years and 1 day. You will not be right. She sat in our wedding.
On the front row.
On the front row.
That lady, I'll give it a year.
Wow.
I look back at my homeboy.
We joke about it all the time, but and she probably wasn't the only one that thought we weren't
She
gonna
just said
make
that loud.
it.
She was
She just said it
older.
out loud. Yeah.
She was older.
She was
They
just
say
But
what they want to.
that lady said that.
Wow.
Look, I said, God, my homeboy hit me on the shoulder because I ain't really care. We were just clowning. He said, you heard that? He said,
But that really was. That was the most memorable part.
that's the
'cause
memorable thing of that day.
And we still remember it today. I don't remember much else about my wedding, but I remember
I
it.
just said, I'll give it a year. Loud.
Well, 20 years later.
Yeah, our wedding, like it just wasn't. It was kind of no frills. We were deployed. Right after we got engaged, we went on deployment, and we would just send money home. We were like, "Hey, we want our wedding purple and lavender," and that's all we cared about.
Yeah.
Picked our groomsmen and bridesmaids and stuff, and that was it. So everything about our wedding, we had nothing to do with. We just sent the money, and we just wanted to get married. We didn't care about our ceremony or anything. So that is the one thing that stuck with us.
That joke.
Wow.
That was
I
funny
like
to me. Boy, that kiki to me today, boy. That's funny. That joke said, I'll get a year.
So let's talk about quality time and how you guys spend quality time together. Like, what hobbies do y'all have?
Fishing.
Oh, I say, you know, y'all love fishing. Where did the love of fishing come from?
Okay, me being frugal. What, a year ago?
2018 for our anniversary.
Anniversary, I said, I'm going to kill my wife fishing. Trying to be cheap for our anniversary. Right?
Trying to be cheap.
And I think he was trying to torture me because I don't like being outside.
Because I was fishing a lot during the time, and them fish was biting good on that time. I said, yeah, buddy, I have been all week. I said, for our anniversary, babe, I'm going to kill you fishing. Trying to be cheap. I said, all I need is some bait. I got the reel.
What motivated you?
Yeah! I said, I'm going to be cheap. I said, by the time we get done, I can go home and fry some fish or barbecue. She going to be tired. So we ain't got to do nothing else. So I'm going to cook. I'm going to take out adventure, go home and cook. Man, went out there. That joker at first she didn't know what she was doing. She was trying. I said, baby, hold on. I think that's what God, I was teaching her something, and she enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hold on, hold your hand like this. You throw it like this. She got it. Boom. She's like, I ain't catching nothing. I said, take this off and put it on there. I'm catching fish. That joker got that first thump. Thomas, baby girl, she been hooked ever since.
Yeah, it's such a rush.
That joker got that first thump and started pulling in fish. I got it. She wasn't even winding it right. She was.
It was so hot because our anniversary was July 28th, so probably the hottest day of the year.
Crump.
We stayed out there for a few hours. We took Mimi with us too, and we went home.
She wanted to go back.
Give me about an hour. I was like, hey, I want to go back. So the same day we went fishing again.
So they kind of bit you in the butt, Marco.
I know it. She got the bug.
It did. He was down there complaining to his dad. You know how men do.
Man, we just
And
talking.
he was complaining to his dad, which I caught the end of the conversation, but the end that I caught was Daddy was telling him, oh, well, you should have never taught her. So I was like, oh, you went to your daddy because I want to go fishing all the time.
No, but see, this is what I used to do.
You complain.
No. I don't know that you know the story, but this is what I used to do. Even though those times I'd be out there stressing about, gotta finish school, couldn't find a job. The money I put in for was getting disapproved. I was struggling. Truck broke down. I would go out there, find me some change or something, go get some bait, and sit out there and talk to God. That was my time with God. Man, I mean, every day I would go. She'll tell you, every day during that year, my truck would break down, my motor locked up on my truck. Man, I was struggling, bro. Every day, I would get up and go fishing. She wouldn't say nothing. Sometimes I catch something, some I didn't, but that was my time with God. I would go out there and pray and talk. But I said, well, if I should have so much fun out there, I'm going to take my wife out there fishing for the anniversary. But deal with being cheap. Mm. But the thing
Still paying for it now.
But what got me was, I said, man, every time I said something about fishing, I can't go by myself no more. Yeah. I said, that was my time with God. Meek got to go every time we say something about a fish. Don't care if we got a hole in the backyard, she got to go with me. I can't even go. That's what I'm saying. I said, I'll never get that time back.
Oh, my baby, I took away the time with the Lord. Oh.
See how she trying to be facetious, right? But see, that's what I was saying. That's what I was talking to Dad about. I was like, man, I ain't got no. Believe it or not, women be talking about they have me time, but they don't understand men need some time to themselves to decompress too.
Oh, you do.
They don't understand.
I give you a lot of that though. I give you a lot of me time.
When?
All the time.
And y'all say y'all want me time, but y'all still want us near.
Look, this is why you can't let other people dictate what you do, because people will tell us that. Like I tell people, we never sit in the living room.
Right.
They're like, what? Mm-hmm. Well, how do you have any quality time? But that's how we do
It's
our
been like
quality
that our
time.
whole life.
That room right there, if you open it right now, I'm planning on a wedding and it's flowers everywhere. That's what I like to be around.
Yeah.
If you go back there, it's a room with a bunch of Alabama stuff and a TV on the wall and a little office area. That's where he likes to be. So we spend a lot of time apart, but that's kind of our quality time. So
like that since we've been together.
we just give each other a lot of space because we both like our space.
We've been
So
like
some
that.
couples are, super clingy. That's not us. And because we recognize that early on, we just let each other have our time. Now, I'll sit in there, make flowers, do whatever. And at different points during the day, though, I'll go and sit at the desk in there and talk to him. Sometimes he'll come in there and sit on my couch in there and talk to me. So we still have that time, but we're not a clingy kind of couple.
Yeah.
We just aren't.
And the stuff we did from the beginning, we got that early. So don't change just because somebody else say change.
Right.
Right.
Because when we was in that little trailer, she would be in the back, or she would be going to church, and we would be separated. She was in the barracks, I was at the top, downstairs, or something like that. Or at the other house, we would sit separately. It never was an issue. Folks said, well, girl, your man don't be around you all the time.
Yeah,
That's a
people
lie.
they'll try to project their
No,
preferences
if
on
that
you.
would make you happy, as long as we come together and ain't arguing,
Yeah.
she'll yell some cries. You want some coffee? Yeah, go get me one. It's you living in the same home. You
Yeah,
ain't got
maybe
to,
come in there and make fun of me all the time. I mean, it's just what we do.
you ain't
It's
got to
what we
listen to
do.
what
It don't
make
have
you
to
happy.
work for everybody
Don't
else.
dictate what nobody else say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because then the other people, girl, I'll be up in here and I'll be all up in there. Yeah, I don't care what you do. We don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. So, but that's how, man, you could be in one house and not see your wife sometime. Like she said, we'll come in there, I come in there and just, so what you doing? Go in there and mess with her.
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me for? Why you in my face?
Yep.
I'm like, cause I can.
Because I want to be.
Yeah, yep. And then next thing I know, go in there, lay across the couch. I'm trying to watch a show. I'm into it. I'm watching the show. She come in there, put her feet up on me.
And then he paused the TV like got an attitude.
Looking like, what you want?
I know when I'm not wanted, so I just leave. So you got to know that too. Know when your man don't feel like being bothered.
Oh,
Just
I
go
know.
on about your business.
Well, yeah, it's fun, man.
And not be offended by it.
Yeah, and I'm not. We've been doing this for 20 years. And shoot, I'll
That's
see
a
you.
change,
I'll
though.
see you later on.
Yeah, we moved from. It used to offend.
It did.
It used to offend.
It did.
Hurt. It used to downright feel hurtful sometimes.
Yeah.
But she seen that I didn't mean no harm.
Yeah.
She was like, that man ain't bothered. But see, soon as she'll think I was doing, it didn't mean no harm, but I go in there after I finish, I cook.
Mm-hmm.
Or,
And
and
that's my love language.
yeah, but that's how that thing go, man. It just, you grow as time go. First thing, and then that's the thing. If something offend you first, don't tell my man, I'm through with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, come on, you through with me after 3 years. You mad because I sat up there with my feet on the table, I'm eating. I don't want you around right now. Folks will leave you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something else. My wife we went to counseling one time, right? She have asked me, I know at least 5 times, 4 times,
Where is this going?
3 or 4 times. I think we need counseling. I said, oh, God got it. I ain't going to no counseling.
And he should have went.
Look at us now.
But we'll be even better, baby.
No, we wouldn't.
Yes, we would.
No, we
If we
wouldn't.
had gone to counseling, we'd be
No, we
even
wouldn't.
better.
I said, every time, we need to go to counseling. No, we don't. No, we don't. And whenever during that time she think we need to go to counseling, God will drop something in me on what to read or a show will come
Now
on.
that is true.
Yeah.
Because he knew you. He knew. He
And
knows
he
how to reach
knows
you.
how to reach. Yes, he does.
See what I'm saying? First she said,
What
we'll
a
be
mighty
better, right?
God we serve.
She said we'll be better just a little bit, right?
No,
But-
because it don't always reach.
No, he'll drop something. I figure something out or shit. At one time, she would never say she was sorry about that. She could be wrong. I'm talking about wrong and two flash
I
smash.
say sorry. I just don't say it vocally. I say,
No, she didn't never even say nothing. I'm talking about she'll say,
no, I do.
she do now, she'll say,
No, I'm saying I would say sorry then. I just did not say it with the words, I'm sorry.
Nigga, I don't want no card. I want no 6-pack of beer. This was back in the day now. She'll go bring me some beer and some cigarettes or something. Like, he'll put a fix it. No.
That was my way of saying
No.
I'm sorry.
Or she'll go I would say so, like, her and her friend, I love you, Mia. Them jokers could shop, Doc. Shop. Them jokers would go and spend a bunch of money and Mika bring me a belt back.
You know, I never would have thought to bring back a gift.
Yeah. A belt.
Not every
We're
time.
not planting those
Not
seeds.
every time. You buy the belt when you know that you spent enough and you're going to make a big deal about it.
And,
Yeah, but
and
that's
tried me when we was at our other house, right? I had my baby girl. Mimi do not keep them from her dad.
You're such a shit.
Mimi said, Mom, tell Dad about how much you paid for that stuff you got today.
She sure will.
Or she was
Put
like,
your
Mom,
bag.
you got them bags out your trunk you just put in the trunk that you was trying to have them, Dad? Loud. I'm like, what you done bought? I go out there's bags everywhere. Mimi, I said, Mimi. Mimi said, I got to teach you. You don't have to tell your daddy everything. I said, yes, you
When
do.
she was little, she didn't do it on purpose. She was just being a kid. But now she still does it. She does it on purpose
That's
now.
just, Mika go and spend a lot of money and stuff.
She was like, show daddy your bag that you bought.
She was like 5.
Maybe I should leave you at home.
And she'll tell me
Keep
on the
your
phone.
kids out your
Right.
business.
I was like, what you Mimi, I said, Mimi, where y'all went? Mom went over and bought some clothes. I said, Mika, you just bought some more clothes. Where you get shoes? That joker would tell everything, but I'm telling you, man, just be yourself and stick with it. Don't let nothing change you. And they gonna know the boundaries, man. And you grow as the years go. Bars.
Oh my
And
Bars.
that was so gonna be my last question, y'all. Was
Yeah.
the best piece of advice y'all can give to young couples, upcoming and
Yeah, you just never expect your spouse to grow at the same rate you do.
That's right.
That's good.
That's probably, I don't know, that might be one of the biggest nuggets I got. But 2017 was a really, really rough year for us. And he might not have been thinking about divorce, but I definitely was.
I wasn't
I was
worried
like,
about
I'm about to go get some papers drawn up.
She said that. I wasn't worried about it. She
because
came
we
to
were
me and
just
said
in-
that. I said, okay.
Yeah, we were just in a place where we just did not get along. Now I've never had issues with him with chicks and craziness, never. But our issue was we just could not get along.
Yeah.
And so
She made a bigger deal than what it was.
but it was bad.
She wanted to argue.
It was bad, but I had to realize that we grow in different directions, and we're not growing at the same time. There's certain areas of his life where he's way more mature than I am. There's certain areas where I'm more mature than him. He probably wouldn't agree, but I just can't expect him to be me. And I think that sometimes that's why some couples don't make
That's
it.
the problem.
Is you get to the point where you're so different that you just think it's over. And so if you stick it out, then you start to grow together again. And so we were in 2017. I think we were kind of in that. We were both growing, but we were growing differently.
Yeah.
And I got very frustrated.
And that was
I
the year I
like,
was doing a lot of reading. I was in school my last year. I was doing a lot of reading. That was stressful. I would get up, she would get ready to go to work, and I'd be writing papers. It's breaking outside.
and that will make him extra cranky.
But I had to get it. The only reason, I didn't have to go to college.
Yeah.
But I wanted to show my daughter that I had a PTSD, had a disability, learning disability, had PTSD, and I can get a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my story to these young boys, young men, young ladies, young girls. That if I could do it, Ain't no excuse. So I don't want to hear that. So go on with that. I had to learn for myself. Because I was agreeing with him. Man, I don't need to go to all this. But now, I don't want to hear about what you can't do. It's nothing about what you can't do.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can
we
do
don't
it.
even allow Mimi to use the
The
word
word can't is not in your
his house.
vocabulary.
Yeah.
That's how I look at that with my marriage too. She was talking about she was getting some divorce papers. I say, all right. Yep, going
You
fishing.
acting so unbothered, which was making me really
And she
want to
was
get
just
a
something else
divorce.
tight then. I was like,
Yeah.
she was like,
He said,
we need to go
"Going
to
fishing."
counseling. I said, all right, whatever. I ain't going to no counseling. I think we need to go see. She'll call. I know it's coming. I know you don't want to talk about this. I said, okay. I think we need to see some counseling or I'm going to get a divorce. I said, okay. Anything else?
And it really, because I was right in my own mind. Like, you cannot be so right in your own
Yep.
mind that you can't be convinced otherwise.
There you
I
go.
think ultimately, Holy Spirit had to really check me because I was just wanting him to be like me.
Yeah.
I was wanting him to be like I wanted him to be.
Yeah.
And that's not who he is.
Yeah.
And so if you try to have that control over your spouse, that I just need you to be where I want you to be, you're going to be unhappy and irritated.
And when you get
Because
tight,
he will not be what I want. Believe me, I have prayed and tried. It's not who he is.
and when you get tight, remember what got y'all started.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember what attracted you to that person the first time. And what attracted you to that person when you started, it grew to something else. Something else attracted you. Something else. I always find a nugget that you can go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because I'll get to the point I want to she'll get to fighting, want to, not fighting, just want to get a tube. Get a tube. The tube. So, but she'll get a tube and I'll be like, I'll bring up something that I know she like.
Oh man.
And then make her laugh.
Yeah.
And he'll do that now. Like, I can be going off. He'll be like, you want some coffee from Lowe's? From Love's?
And another thing I did, I'm going to drop this to you. I told my wife, you may not be a comedian, you may not be a guy that want to play and laugh all the time, but I promised her, we first started dating, we first started talking, I said, every day I'll make you laugh about something. Every day. Even when that ain't hot,
Yeah.
I still make her laugh. Always remember what got you to where you at when you met her.
Yeah.
You didn't just you like her just for her. It maybe looks at first. Then she gonna open her mouth. I have told people all the time, let somebody assume you crazy until you open your mouth and prove them right. So when you first met somebody, it was looks. Then they open their mouth. Found something attracted to them. Then you found something else. Then you found something. Oh, we compatible in this. We compatible in this. Oh, he treat people nice. Always find something. Whenever you want to get to fighting or get to arguing about something, it's something in that woman or something in that man that you still care about. People will get a divorce and they still got feelings for a person. Don't do that. Because if you still got feelings for them, that means you got still bonded.
Right.
Don't do that. Stick with your spouse that God gave you because you prayed for that person.
You know.
And even if you didn't pray for that specific person, once you got together, you prayed together and prayed for them together now.
Yeah.
So don't tear that up for nothing, for an argument. Me and her can argue 3 months. I wouldn't sit up there and let it bother me. I'm still cooking, taking Mimi to school. She want to have it too, gone. Leave me alone. I said, okay. You home? What do you want to eat? I don't care.
And I'm never serious when I tell you to leave me alone. Don't be trying to make me look mean.
No, I know. But she'll be smiling. She'll make me, after she said, leave me alone. She'll mama, you get on nerve. She know they're going to make me come clown again.
But yeah, we have to have comedy around
Oh,
here.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that was one of the things that attracted me to him too, because it's part of his heart. That's just who he is. So we definitely laughter keeps us going around here, and I've also always been attracted to the fact that he's a giver. Even though he used to be tripping about me paying tithe, but he would always give anybody anything. He would give somebody a shirt off his back, empty out his account for you, That's the guy he is. And so regardless of what changes, our looks have changed. We done put on some weight.
Yeah, a little bit.
Our political beliefs have changed, all that stuff. But the thing that makes us who we are is our heart. So he's still a giver. He still loves people. Now, I didn't know he could cook at first.
I had
But
to
I
hide that from. See, that was some spice. They had on 6 years down the line.
Yeah.
That kicked us on the second
So
year.
it's been little extra bonuses along the way, but what's most attractive to me about him is his heart, and it just doesn't change. Everything else changes, because Lord knows we have changed, but who we are internally, it just hasn't changed. And as long as you have that, you're gonna still be in love.
Yeah.
You just have to all the external stuff, how you think about a certain subject and all of that. If you want to see an argument, you bring up certain things because we're so different in how we think about those things, but it doesn't change the love that we have for each other. And so
Yeah.
some people, they don't know how to
Differentiate.
Yeah, they don't know how to differentiate between the two. So they think because we don't agree and because we don't think the same way that we're not compatible. But that actually kind of makes us more compatible because it's just the opposite attracts thing and we just balance each other out.
Yeah.
Right.
And we allow each other to do that.
Yeah,
You all right, man?
I guess.
Well, this was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about you guys
yeah.
today.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, we got a lot more. We can go about 3 more hours.
I know. We could.
Nah, I ain't gonna shake nothing.
We're gonna have to do that over the fish fry.
Oh yeah, yeah. We gonna have to invite
Definitely.
y'all over to eat, man.
Definitely.
You gonna close this
Oh,
out? I think it's
Oh, yeah.
So, as you all have seen, this is a lovely couple. We have definitely enjoyed every minute of speaking with them and getting to know more about them. I feel like y'all like my older siblings now.
Yeah,
I just loved it. I know y'all loved it. We loved it, didn't we,
We did.
babe?
yeah.
It was amazing. So thank you guys for viewing. Thank you guys for taking the time out.
and happy anniversary.
Right, 20 years in the
20
game, y'all.
years.
Show us some love. We're gonna get there one day.
Yeah,
Yes, you will.